Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live. It's Thursday night, 7 p.m. And I can't believe another week has passed. And I tell you, it's been hot here on Long Island, and we're getting the smoke from the wildfires up in Canada and out in Minnesota. And it's sort of like cloudy, but it's really the smoke, and it's really messing things up. But anyway, I was hoping to get down and fly at Port Jeff Harbor and follow the ferry, but I didn't get down there. So hopefully I'll get down there maybe this weekend. I don't fly on the weekends that much because it's very busy down here, but I go early and when it's not crowded. So I don't like flying around people, you know. Um, Not that I've had a lot of problems with people complaining or anything like that over the years now. I've only had two little encounters. One was nothing to speak of, and the other one, yeah, I guess that was nothing too. Um, so, but I avoid flying around people. Anyway, it's good to see everybody. If you saw the Facebook post on and YouTube post, you know I have a great show lined up with a great special guest, Mike Lowe. He's an experienced drone pilot from Georgia, and we got to meet him at the South Florida Drone Meetup. He was there, and it was great meeting Mike. And he's going to share his story with us tonight, and I know you're going to find it interesting. But anyway, I tell you, it's always humbling to see you guys in the chat. You know, I wonder how many people are going to be watching the show. And when I log on and I see people checking in, like George. he he checked in early this afternoon. He was number one, and he beat John Gregory out. John Gregory is usually number one, but John, good to see you too. And Keith 85, how you doing? You were number three. But anyway, we got Highlight America. He's watching. Good to see you. And Terry Dugas and John Olson is watching. And John, if I get down, uh, get out to fly, I will definitely give you a call, and hopefully you can join me. I'm sorry I wasn't able to join you this past week when you were down at Mount Sinai Harbor, because those Osprey are getting big. They're going to be flying off before we know it. Um, but anyway, always good to fly with John Olson, that is. There's so many Johns in the chat usually. It's John G, John O, John F, John S. But anyway, hey, we got Bud Beaver in the house. How you doing, Bud? Good to see you. And I tell you, Jeremy's in the house. Jeremy, SomeDroneGuy.com. And as you know, he'll be making up our new logo for the seventh annual South Florida Drone Meetup, which will be here before you know it. Don't kid yourself. April seemed like a long way off, but we got 55 people signed up already that say they're coming next year, and it's always good to see that. And the hotel, the Hampton Inn and Suites, believe it or not, they kept the same rate for us. This is 6 years in a row that they kept the same rate of 139 for a room and 149 for a suite. And I got to say thank you to the Hampton Inn and Suites. But if you come in, let me know. I'll add you to the list. I'll send you the link for the hotel, and you can book your room. Because I know we're going to sell out of our block of rooms, no doubt about it. But let me welcome in a few more people. And RJ's in the house. How you doing? Good to see you. And let's see, John. There's the other John, John F. John Flynn, Flying Flynn Media. How you doing, John? Good to see you. Always good to see you. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to the name shortly because Mike's in the back room. I'll try to keep an eye out on the list on the people coming in. There's Lee, Sergeant Rock. How you doing? Good to see you. And Captain Joe's watching down in Louisiana. But anyway, I would like you all to please give a warm welcome to Mike Lowe. He's coming to us all the way from Georgia. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, Captain Ray. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for being on the show tonight. We got
Thank
to
you for
meet you.
having me.
You're welcome. And we got to meet you at the South Florida Drone Meetup, and it was my pleasure to do that. I was so glad that you came, and I guess you were glad and you had a good time because you're coming back next year.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. It was a great time. Granted, I'm one of the shy people, but eventually I did wind up talking to a few people. And hopefully next year I will talk to a lot more.
Yes, yes. It's amazing when you first meet the people at the meetups. I felt the same way when I went to my first one. That was a long time ago in Texas. We used to go to one called Spin Up, and you feel, oh my God, look at this guy. You get to know him on the live streams, and at least they made me feel welcome, and I hope the people made you feel welcome in the live streams and at the South Florida Drone Meetup.
Yeah.
They did good. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody I encountered was great. So
What did you like about the meetup itself? Was the most well the best thing? What did you find to be the best?
there are so many. I think the location was absolutely ideal in terms of being able to fly and being able to capture the scenery of that part of Florida. Getting to meet a lot of people that I've seen on YouTube that I never thought I would meet in person.
Right,
So
right.
that was kind of a thrill to do that. I felt I was amongst drone royalty when I got a chance to meet some of those folks.
I know. There's so many people that come, and it's amazing because they most everybody keeps coming back. They have a good time and they keep coming back. And as you know, we're going to our on our seventh annual. I can't believe it. We've been doing it 7 years now, and
Wow.
there's no doubt next year's meetup is going to be just as good, if not better. And again, we're not trying to break all kind of numbers with more people coming. We just want a great group of drone pilots to come, and that's what happens. And we get them from all over the countries, all over the world. As you know, we had pilots there from England.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about the South Florida Drone Meetup. The viewers would like to hear your story, Mike, on how you became involved with drones. And if you want to share any other things, feel free.
Well, my drone story is kind of unique. And I will tell you that when in the mornings before I began work, I would listen to a national sports radio host who was based out of Washington, D.C., and his name is Steve Zabin, if that name rings a bell with people.
No.
And Steve always used to talk about drones. And he would talk about the Phantom series. And then once he bought one, then there was another upgrade that DJI had. So he kept buying more drones and what have you. And that sparked my interest. But I really, because of my work demands, at that time, I used to travel quite a bit for work. So I didn't really get a chance to invest in the hobby until 4 years ago. And I heard about the DJI Mini 3 Pro, which is
Okay.
my first drone.
Oh, that
And
was
when
your
I
first
heard
one.
about that, I said, well, you know what? Here's the opportunity to jump on board. And I did. And it has been a great hobby for me. I have always been into photography. So, being able to take pictures at a ground level has always been great, but being able to elevate and be able to see things that you can't ordinarily see has just been remarkable. And needless to say, it has been quite a bit of fun. But after maybe about 1 year or 2 years, I went through a burnout, and I didn't fly drones for a while. But last year, my passion in drones reignited, and I have to show you this. This guy is the one who got me back into this hobby, and this is the
Sky Rover.
It's the Sky Rover X1.
Yeah.
And I saw the video that Sean from Air Photography did, basically doing a review of the drone. And I said, okay, I've got to look into this. And I think I saw other people, other influencers fly this particular drone.
Yes.
It was reasonably priced, and I decided to pull the trigger on it. And once I got this drone, it was, oh my goodness, the passion came back immediately.
That's
and
fantastic.
It was a lot of fun flying. This is a fun drone to fly. It really is, and it's got so many features. But unfortunately, it's been in the news for the wrong reasons as of late. But
well, some people say it's very much similar to a DJI drone, correct?
Well,
or
that's
no?
It's extremely like a DJI drone.
Right.
In fact, I
don't know if you see the comment, by the way. Mark has put up a nice compliment on you, Mike, about your video on the FCC enforcement actions. So
well, thank you, Marcus, for that. I truly appreciate the praise, especially coming from someone like you, who was one of these influencers who got me back into this hobby. But yeah, I did 2 videos that were deep dives into the Sky Rover drone. And one was interesting that, the Sky Rover brand started releasing the all-in-one controller, and it came with their bundled deals. But there's one thing missing. And on the back, there's no label.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And all controllers, all parts have to be labeled. And for some reason, that didn't get labeled. And there's a lot of suspicion about how this particular controller got in. And basically, based on prior research that other people did, and I want to make sure they get the credit for that, because they did all the tearing apart and looking at code and tying everything together. But I just looked at how this controller got through. And basically, this is a DJI drone or controller.
Controller, yeah.
And it was already pre-approved, so it didn't have to get approved by the FCC. And that's where the FCC is stepping in. They're saying, oh, wait a minute now. There's a lot of back channel stuff going on, because there's 8 companies that have been tied to this entire situation. And 2 of them were ones that presented the Sky Rover X1 and the Sky Rover S1. And those particular drones were presented by 2 separate companies, one based in China and the other with headquarters in Sacramento, California, but their corporate location is in Delaware. So it's very, very, very interesting, to say the least, pertaining to that. And the latest news, and you may have heard this, that the 8 companies in question have until Monday to respond to the FCC.
Okay.
And
otherwise, they're going to be fined, right?
they're going to be fined, but there's also an extra date of August 9th, and I can't remember exactly what that's pertaining to, but they do have to give a response by next Monday. And so far, I did a quick search tonight to see if there were any updates, and I didn't see anything. But it really worries me that they're not responding. And that's unfortunate. I would hope they would respond, but there are certain people you can ghost, but one of those things is the United States government. You can't ghost them. So,
yeah. Well, I tell you, we'll see what happens. That's all, But I know that a lot of companies are trying to skirt around, the ban per se,
right.
And we'll see what happens. That's all. But I'm trying to stay positive, fly what we have,
Well, but that's one of the reasons why I have as many as I do, because at some point, inevitably, one's going to fail, and I can't replace it because of warranty situations. And
what other drones do you have, Mike?
Oh boy. This is the part that might get me divorced or thrown in the lake behind my house. So I have 9.
9, okay.
And
that's more than me.
The 9 are the Mini 3 Pro, the oh gosh. Drawing a blank on the second one, Sky Rover X1, the Sky Rover S1, the Potensic Atom 2, the Mini 5 Pro, which I got through South Korea, the Avata 360, the Neo 2, and this one, which is my personal favorite, which is the Air 3S.
Yeah.
That
everybody who has that drone loves it, and it seems to be their favorite drone. The people that have it.
And the other one I forgot was the Mavic 3 Classic. And
okay. Yeah.
I don't fly that drone as often because of lack of zoom for photos, but
yes.
But it is a very dependable drone. In fact, I flew it in the snow here. We had actually a little snowstorm here in Metro Atlanta, and I flew toward a spot just to see how it would handle snow and 40-mile-an-hour gusts, and it did perfectly. So,
really? See, now I wouldn't have the guts to do that.
Well, that was a little crazy for me. I've lived on the edge with certain things that I've done with drones, but I try to be careful and not do anything too outlandish. So.
Well, I'm a very conservative flyer, also known as a wimpy flyer.
There's nothing wrong with that. When I first started, I was extremely conservative. I basically would just fly over my house and that was it. And then I started venturing out a little further and then ventured out a little further. And then I discovered the drone park very close to my home and started flying there, which was really great. And then started going to some other places in and around the area, and that just launched my
well, I have to say, even though
passion.
I'm a conservative flyer, wimpy flyer, it didn't take me long to start flying over water. I don't know what it was. My first flight, I was nervous, of course. And my second flight, I was still a little nervous. But after that, I have no fear of flying over water. Do you like flying over water?
You know what? That was one of the cool things about the South Florida Dream meetup, is because that was my first time ever flying over water, and I had absolutely no fear whatsoever.
Really? Interesting.
It was just like, okay, let's just do it. And I actually flew under the bridge, and that was a little nerve-wracking, but
Yeah, I've only done it once in all our meetups. I've only done that once. Went under the bridge. Yeah.
so I did quite a bit during that time, but there were a lot of things I didn't get a chance to experience because of the day that I had to fly back home. We had those heavy winds on that Sunday.
Yeah.
And I know at the beach location that we were all at, I believe someone lost a drone that day. And and then I attempted to fly at some other places, and now they were it was not safe to fly due to the winds. So I pretty much said, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and fly back home. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, I tell you, Mike, you have a very large fleet of drones. That's for sure. You know, and of all the locations that you've flown so far, do you have a favorite flying location?
well, I was in Galveston, Texas,
Oh, okay.
in June. My wife and I had just come back from a cruise, and we had an extra day there. And I went straight to the beach and decided to fly there. It was a great location, but there were a lot of seagulls, and I had to fly very low so that I could keep my eye on everything. But going out over the water, again, no fear with that. It was, I mean, it's almost like second nature. But I
Yeah.
was flying the Neo 2 then. I actually brought that with me on the cruise.
Okay.
I was going to fly it at the 3 ports of call that we were going to, but the only place where I got a chance to fly it was in Cozumel. And I basically flew that there. It was very windy in Cozumel, but it was still a good flight to get that out of the way. The only issue was my microphone did not work during the entire recording.
Oh,
So
yeah.
basically everything was dead. So I had to re-record
That's
everything.
why they have voiceovers.
Yeah, I have discovered doing a lot of voiceovers, but
Yeah.
I would also say the area down in Florida was one of my favorite locations to fly.
Okay.
Just because of the ocean and all of the elements there. I do have some areas around here that I enjoy flying as well. So it,
Okay.
you know, a lot of my, if you watch any of my flight videos, the scenery remains the same, but I'm always trying something new with the drones that I have and comparing features and everything of that nature.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, talking about your videos, I just happen to have one queued up, and if you want, you can narrate over this one.
Okay, I'll try.
And
Well, that's the original channel. So
yeah, you have two channels to it, guys. If you're not subscribed to Mike,
This is Mike with
Drone
Adventures
Passport
in
now.
Flight. I appreciate you taking time to watch.
yes, there's only one channel
All right.
that
So
I have.
this has been an absolutely spectacular weekend here in my part of North Georgia. I am filming on, I have to remind myself what today's date is. Today is March
I like
29th.
your format,
It's
by the
Sunday.
way, that you do with your
The
videos.
weather
Thank you.
outside, if you look at the skies, there's only a few little clouds, but nothing out of the ordinary. But there is one issue with the weather for today, and that is the winds.
Oh yes,
Winds
this is a
are
windy
very
day.
high, and they are in the
But
not good to fly range, according to the.
Not
I
good to
decided to
fly.
fly
I'll go
anyway,
over
and
all
I
of
flew
that
the
information
Air
in just a
3S
moment.
on this
That
day.
being said, I have two drones that I can fly with these heavy
Yeah.
winds. One would be the Mavic 3 Classic. The other would be our friend that we're flying today, the Air 3S.
Yeah.
So I have yet to fly the 3 Air S in high wind conditions. So this will be a test for me. And also, I'm just curious to see how it will handle windier conditions.
But
I know
I
in
will
about
say
2
the
weeks, I'll be
location down in Florida was a
for the
lot
North
windier
Florida
than it was on the
or
day
the
I
South
made
Florida.
this
Big
flight.
difference.
Okay.
South
Well,
Florida
that Air
drone meetup
3S is a
in Stuart, Florida.
pretty strong drone,
and
that's for
I
sure.
anticipate the winds there will be a little stronger than
Well,
just a
foreshadowing.
light
I guess
but
I knew
there's
the
a light
winds were
speed
going to be
picks up,
strong
yes.
down
But
there.
anyway,
But
so this is the time now to get used to potentially flying in higher winds.
And again,
So,
if anybody
that's
has
what
any
we're going to do
questions
here.
for Mike,
Now,
put
the
them in the
weather
chat.
for right
I'll
now,
try to keep an
as
eye out.
of 11:26 a.m. on March 29th, 2026.
Yeah, look how windy
The
it is.
temperature is 55 degrees. That's not exactly spring-like weather. That's actually kind of cool. The winds are blowing out of the east at 32 miles per hour.
Wow.
That is over the rated speed for the Air 3S, but
Yeah.
I've been told it can do it. So we're going to do it. And again, that
You're a
32
brave
miles
soul,
per hour
Mike.
is 300 feet above
yeah,
ground level. So
probably
keep that
a
in
lot
mind.
of
And it's blowing
foolishness
from the east.
more than
And
being a
as I
brave
mentioned
soul.
in my Mini 5 video that you'll probably see up very soon, when the wind blows from the east, it's not fit for man or beast. But it's not too terribly bad out here for this beast. So with that being said, let's get to it.
Yep.
And of course, this
All
is
right, let's get
my
to it.
customary
And there's no way to
shot
start
that I
no better
begin
way to
almost
start a
every
video
video
than
with.
doing
There's a
the
mountain
dramatic
in my
rise up in the
area
air
called
and
Sawney
seeing Mount
Mountain.
Sawney.
Okay.
It doesn't matter
And
what drone you
it's-
use. At least
It's
from
always
my
a great
perspective, it's
way
always going
to
to be a
start.
spectacular
And
shot.
in fact,
And
I've gotten
this
to the
is no
point now
exception.
where I just know
Of course,
where to
with
point the
Air
drone
3S,
and just take
it
off
is
from there.
always usually a great shot.
Sure.
All right.
But look
we're
how
going to
steady the
begin
drone
first
is
of
really in
two
that wind.
waypoint missions.
Yes,
the
it's
waypoint
very
missions
steady.
are exactly the same.
It's
so the second one will be
handling
exactly
quite
as the
well.
first.
And in fact,
Or
I
to
think
quote the old Herman
the
song,
wind is
"Venerate the
blowing.
ice."
If I remember this correctly, it's
Second
about to
verse,
turn.
same as the first.
And
so we're going to look at this 2 times.
And the
reason
wind
for
will
that
be blowing
is
from
that I
the
wanted
right to the
to
left.
see how
So
the drone would do in
since
these
that is
high wind
blowing from the
conditions.
east.
And
Okay.
basically, the flight pattern is in such a way that the drone will be in direct contact with the wind. From this viewing angle, the wind, try not to fly over
I'm going to
there.
speed it up a little bit.
I mean,
All right.
the people that have
that looks like a
land,
great
it's
place to
so
fly,
beautiful,
really.
and,
Well,
you know, every now and then
the you have
want
to be
try
careful
capture it
about the
because
golf
their
course
shade of
because
green
you
is
don't
really,
want to fly
really,
over the golfers, and I
nice.
try to be
During the
cognizant
fall,
of that.
they had some great
and,
transition colors as well.
and of course,
All right,
there's
well,
the
we're
thing
heading
I
back
always talk about,
to the
as I
south.
mentioned at the beginning.
And
That's
of course,
the
the
pond
dreaded
where my
pond
wife
is in our
may dump me
sights.
off in.
In this
And
particular
I refer
instance,
to
the
that
wind
as the
is blowing
dreaded
from
pond.
the left to the right.
And,
Again,
and
there
it's
are
always
no
just one of
warnings
those
that have
things I
appeared
do
on the controller.
when I fly. I always try to fly over that.
The
It's
drone
kind
has
of a
been
tribute to
extremely
her in a
stable
roundabout
as it's
way.
making this
I'm
trip.
sorry, Bud had to leave already
Ordinarily,
because he would have
if
loved
you are
this.
flying in this direction and the drone or the
Well, anyway,
wind
this is a great video.
coming
Thank
at
you.
from the side.
And if you guys want to watch more of that, go to Mike's channel. And if you're not subscribed to Mike, make sure you do it and do it now. Don't wait until after the show. You'll forget.
Yeah, and the name of my channel is Drone Passport. So I just underwent a name change. The original name of the channel was Uncle Mike's Adventures in Flight, but I needed something a little more concise. So
Hey, Chris, how you doing, Chris? That's good, though. Yeah. Now, Mike, what do you use to edit? I'm surprised we don't have the question. What do you use to edit your videos with?
I use Final Cut Pro.
Oh, okay.
I'm an Apple guy, and I have been using Final Cut Pro for about 3-4 years, and it's certainly easy. there's a lot of steps in Final Cut Pro that I'm still trying to master. In fact, I'm trying to put together, I have a comparison video of the fall, basically from the end of summer all the way through the first of the year, and trying to capture all the colors together, basically blending from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And haven't been able to master that yet, but
Okay, cool. Hey, Cozy Drone, how you doing?
I do
and it-
all of my voiceover work in Final Cut Pro, and I also have started using StreamYard as well for part of my recorded videos as well. I actually have a live presentation every Saturday morning at 11,
Okay,
where I talk about drones and news and basically what my plans are for the weekend, in terms of where I'm going to fly and what I'm going to
nice.
fly.
That's cool. We'll have to get you added to Johnny's drone live stream guide.
All right. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
but no, that's great. Um, there's so many great places to fly, and golf courses is one of them. I did it way back when I had the original Mini. A friend of mine, and he also bought one, and he worked at the golf course. He said, "We got to go out. We got to film the golf course," and we did. We went out and filmed a couple of the holes, and that was cool. Totally different for me, anyway.
Yeah, and one of the things that I just posted, actually, it just got released today. I did a comparison video between the Atom 2 and the Skyrover S1, and you're going to see a lot of green, and it's always interesting to see all the various shades of green
Yes.
that you would see on a golf course. You got the trees, you've got the fairway, you've got the hole, you've got the, you just have all those elements. Unfortunately, my golf course where I live is so poorly maintained that you can see a lot of the divots, and they don't
Oh, okay,
clean
really?
those up very well at times.
Well, let us know in the chat if you guys have flown a golf course, because they are great places to fly, no doubt about it. And I think Joel's in the chat now. How you doing, Joel? Good to see you. Hopefully you come back next year to the South Florida Drone Meetup. We missed you last year. But anyway, and again, if you guys have any questions for Mike, I probably missed them, and I apologize if I missed any questions. But so anyway, do you have any like flights lined up? I know you talk about it on Saturdays, but do you have any flights lined up
You
in the near
know,
future?
I don't have anything planned because a lot of my flights are spontaneous, and it depends on the weather. Like tonight, for example, I wanted to go for a flight, but there was thunder in the area, and we thought we were going to get some heavy downpours, but it turned out it was just
Okay.
much ado about nothing.
Oh, what happened? I don't know what happened. Okay, you there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what happened. We had a little glitch there.
Okay.
But anyway, you were saying? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do a lot of my planning spur of the moment. Like this Saturday, I'll say, well, I'm going to do this, and decide to go fly. But there are one of the great things about living near Metro Atlanta, where I do, is being able to pick from the city and also the mountains. Well, guess you could call them foothills. That's what they're technically called. But around here, we refer
Okay.
to them as mountains.
Yep.
And there's just so much to see in this area and so much to capture that it's impossible to think about it. I want to go on weekend trips and do some drone flying, but sometimes things get in the way and I can't always do that. And, I want to be more proactive and have more trips planned. But, sometimes, well, at least for me, spontaneous flights work out really well.
Sometimes you can get your best flights in doing it that way. That's
Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Last year, we had a tall ship come in to Greenport, and Jeff Norman had called me last minute. He says, "Hey, there's a tall ship out in Greenport. You want to go?" Boom! We jumped in the car and we went, and we ended up having one of the best days of flying out there. But
Wow.
anyway,
Yeah,
I do have a little format. I do a tip of the week, and this week's tip is really nothing really sophisticated. It's just, if you get a chance, attend drone meetups, because like we talked about a little earlier, you get to meet the people in the chats, and this is a great community, the drone community. And when you meet these guys and gals in person, it's just so much better. And I've made lifelong friendships through going to the meetups and obviously the live streams. So if you get a chance, go. And there's one coming up, just to let everybody know, there's one coming up in Rhode Island. It's going to be the second annual Northeast Drone meetup. I just happen to have the coffee cup right here. And I had such a good time last year when I went, and I'm looking forward to going back. So, Mike, do you have a tip for the viewers? I should have told you I was going to ask you that question.
Well, my tip is keep your eye on the sky and look for birds. I've had so many close encounters with hawks in certain locations. I had one that was about that far away from my drone. I always make sure, if I go, there's a certain spot I go to, and when I go there, I always check the skies. And then when I take off, they all come out. And that's when I usually decide, well, it's time to return to home and give up on that effort. But we have to share the skies with the birds, and they have priority. And we have to always keep that in mind.
No, that's a great tip. Unfortunately, I've been flying with a couple of drone pilots where they've lost their drones to bird strikes.
Ooh.
One came out of nowhere, and the other one we knew about. We talked about the flock of birds out down by the Hillsborough Lighthouse in Florida, and we knew they were out there, and we warned each other. And this other drone pilot sent this drone up afterwards, and the birds weren't by the lighthouse at that time. But within a minute, 2 minutes, they came, and the next thing you know, he says, "I just lost my drone in the water."
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that's a great tip. Look out for birds. I like that tip, Mike.
Thank you.
But I have another one of your videos queued up. But before that, I would like to show the viewer video of the week. And this week's video, I chose John Gregory, Connecticut Pirate, because he's been putting out a lot of videos lately. And I like the way John flies. Nice intro, by the way, John. For a while there, I was showing a lot of FPV flights, but now I'm sort of showing
coffee breath
cinematic shots. Now I get a copyright strike. Thanks, John.
Still blue gray.
But this is a great video.
Thermos clangs against the rail. Somebody laughs just to stay away.
Now I like flying at sunrise too. That's one of my favorite places. Probably my favorite place is sunrise.
Diesel coughs, rope slips free, cold.
Yeah, those are sunrises and sunsets are my favorite. They've always been favorites of mine, even with
Heart's
regular
already
photography.
out
But
past shore.
I mean, look at that
Still
shot.
running.
Look at
That's
that shot with the
amazing.
boat and the sunrise.
We are the first line on the water, chasing the dark.
Very
on the
relaxing.
waves, leaving the town still sleeping behind us, trusting the pull and sway. We'll bring the morning home on our shoulders, salt in our
Really,
hair
really
and our
nice.
veins, fishing boat, leaving in the early morning, riding the rise of the day.
Very, very nice, John. So if you guys want to
Boys
watch
like
more of
buttons
that,
on a coat,
go to
marking
John's
where
channel,
last we-
Connecticut Pirate. And if you're not subscribed to John, make sure you subscribe to his channel. So, really nice, John. So, yeah, I have to admit, though, even though sunrise is my favorite time to fly, I haven't been getting up early lately. So I plan on getting up at sunrise and, getting those sunrise flights in. It's on my list. I have a list of places to fly. So I haven't even been out to the Hamptons. I don't know if you know. Last year I went out to the Hamptons looking for sharks and whales quite a bit. We were making weekly trips out there, and I haven't even got out there yet this year. And I hope to do that too. But anyway, so again, guys, if you have any questions for Mike, put them in the chat. Okay, I'm trying to look at the questions. Sorry, guys. I know I missed quite a few comments, and I apologize. So anyway, and I try to highlight most of the comments, but yeah, John, your videos are great, no doubt about it, and I'm really looking forward to going up to the Northeast Drone Meetup because there's such great places to fly up there in the Providence, Newport area, Pawtucket, Pawtucket. They got the trolls. Have you ever flown by a troll, Mike?
I don't think I have.
You know what it is, right? No, maybe you don't even know
No.
what it is. Well, anyway, Rhode Island is where we saw them, but they got them throughout the country now. They're wooden carvings, and they're huge. They're probably 15, 20 feet high by 15, 20 feet wide, and they're made primarily out of recycled wood pallets, if I remember right. And this one artist, the one that I flew up in Rhode Island, it was amazing. It really was. I should have had that one queued up. I could have showed a little of that. But I'm looking forward to going to those other trolls, John. So if you know where they are, maybe we'll go together. So anyway, but they got them all over the country. I don't know which states besides Rhode Island has them, and they are pretty unique and great places to fly. So anyway, so I know that I have another one of your videos queued up here, so let me get it and share that now. And again, if you want to narrate over it.
All right.
This is a comparison.
On the right is the Potensic Atom 2.
Oh, what's going on
On the
here?
left is the Sky Rover S1.
This is what you were talking
Two
about
drones
earlier.
enter.
Yes, it is.
Drone emerges as
This
the
is
king
cool.
of the budget drones.
It's very cool the way you did this.
AI assisted, I have to confess. Hey there, this is Mike with Drone Passport. Thank you very much for joining me for this video presentation. As always, I appreciate you taking time to do so. Way back in December, I did a test of waypoints between the Skyrover X1 and the Potensic Atom 2 when when the Potensic Atom 2 just had this feature activated on their drones. Many people told me this was an unfair fight because the X1.
What's going on here?
Oops.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to the video.
Well, on this particular video and this one particular video, I basically compare 7 traits between each drone from my perspective, and basically have a running scorecard as to which one I think is the better of the two. I don't want to spoil it, but
I don't know what happened to the video where it froze up. I'm trying to unfreeze it, but it's not unfreezing. So anyway, you guys can watch the rest of that on Mike's channel. So I apologize for that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I saw the question, where would I love to fly and what drone would I like to use? Well, I think everybody would love to fly the Grand Canyon, but I don't think you can legally do that. So I would go for something in the Rocky Mountain region, or in the Pacific Northwest. Last September, my youngest nephew and I spent a week in Vancouver, Whistler, Victoria, and Seattle. And I did not get a chance to bring one of my, well, actually I did have a drone with me, but I did not get a chance to fly because there were some restrictions in place. I would have loved to have flown near Mount Rainier, not within the park, but there were some great shots there. Victoria is such a beautiful place. There are a lot of places I would have loved to have flown there, but there were some restrictions there. So as a result, I didn't get a chance to fly during that trip. And Whistler has no drone zones all over the place, so you can't fly there. But I would love to fly. Definitely would love to fly there.
Yeah.
If I could.
It's so frustrating when you come across these great flying locations and you don't have a drone with you.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Exactly. Or that are not legal to fly at. And, you know, that's something that's one thing I may do a couple of dangerous things here, but I will never press my luck with that. I mean, here in Atlanta, we just had World Cup, and the last chance, or the last number I saw, there were 77 drones confiscated from people flying illegally near the stadium here. And a lot of those people were not registered. They didn't have a trust certificate or a Part 107. They were just basically flying, and it basically gives people
drone rogues.
Yes, and it gives people like us who fly, you know, legitimately and through the correct parameters, it gives us all a bad name. So
yes, you're right. And to be honest with you, I was glad to see the enforcement. I
absolutely.
Really was, you know, and I hope they get prosecuted. I really do. I don't want them just to get a little slap on the wrist.
No, they do need to get heavily fined. I think, and I covered this in my video last week, but I believe for civil fines, it was $75,000, up to $75,000. And if it was a criminal offense, it was $100,000 plus a potential year in jail.
Yes.
So.
Right. Yeah. But. Okay, so Joel saying, so an older gentleman wants to teach. All right, cool. That's great, Joel. Yeah, good. Get them hooked on drones, not drugs. You know the saying.
Absolutely. And in fact, when I flew in Galveston, a young mom and her son came up to me and wanted to know all about drones. And I gave them a brief tutorial. And, you know, I think I may have converted someone into getting interested in flying drones. And so, you know, you spread the message, people
Yes.
get interested. And it's really a great thing.
I know the past couple of years, you know, I've got a couple of people hooked on drones. Actually, three people bought drones based on my suggestion. I gave them a little 5 minute quick little intro flight, you know, and there's funny stories involved with most of them. But they've been flying, and the one gentleman, Joe, he's a detective in New York City, PD. You know, he ended up coming to the South Florida drone meetup. He couldn't make it last year, but he made a nice donation of DJI hats, you know, to us.
Wow.
And we got to say thank you for
Very
doing
nice.
that, Joe. But he's hoping to make it next year, so that's good. And we got Nick in the house. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you. So, and now basically, I want to. I think I got another one of your videos right here. Let me show this one, and then we'll get on to the monthly giveaway contest. So, you were flying in Galveston, apparently.
I was. This particular drone is, since it's so small and can just maneuver around quite easily. So
I tell you,
that
I
being
love the
said,
Neo too.
Let's get to it. And let's get to the video that was recorded on that day.
Here's what comes off a bowl
Oh,
of
now we
strawberries
got a
when you drop this
commercial.
device in the water.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Or an
man,
already
I'm
rinsed
telling
under the
you.
tap. But
I hate
within
that
10
when that
minutes, the
happens.
water changes color. What floats to the surface will change how you
Come
feed your
on,
family.
let's get
My
rid
friend
of
works
it.
in food safety testing.
There we go.
Oh, wait a minute. No sound. That would be a problem.
Yeah, but you
And
worked it out.
So what you're looking at right here is the hotel that my wife and I stayed at. This is the Grand Galvez Hotel on Galveston Island. This is a wonderful place. The decor is early 1920s America. It is such a unique hotel, great hotel. Cannot recommend it enough. It is truly great. So if you're ever
we loved that hotel.
Try to stay there. This is the best.
Absolutely
place
great.
there. All right. Let's get to the actual video of the flight. I'm going to take myself out of this picture now. All right,
is a
so
great video.
I'm basically evaluating the situation here.
And you don't have to worry about copyright strikes. This is my own music, so
All types of
Oh,
birds
okay.
flying around. There are pelicans. and
I
there are a
create
lot of
my
seagulls
own
that you can
music
see
for
right
my
there.
videos.
One comes very close.
And
to the
I
drone.
don't
So
know if you saw that.
please see
I had a
the
close
location,
encounter with a seagull
umbrella.
just there.
Yeah,
Private
look at that.
beach for the hotel. So my goal is not to fly over there.
This is another
not
great place to
where
fly,
all these
really.
individuals
Yeah.
are. Now,
It was.
You're going to see that I'm constantly adjusting my height because of the seagulls. The seagulls are all over the place, and they are coming to you at many different angles. So I'm going to raise things up here just a bit. I'm going to start.
I tried to start,
Head
and
toward the
then
Gulf.
I had to stop. There were some
In
birds,
the colors
and
of
then
this little drone
a
is
low-flying
pretty
helicopter
sharp.
comes by in just a
Granted,
few
this is
moments.
not an Air 3S
So I had to
or any fancy
stop
drone,
for
but
that.
it is quite
Okay.
remarkable.
Have a good night, Ron.
And I'm trying to dodge,
And eventually, I do make it out
potential
over the
seagulls in
water.
area, which is why you see.
And you can see,
that.
again, these
Hello,
birds
Mr.
are
Seagull.
all over.
Yeah.
And your pack of brothers and sisters.
Birds make me nervous. They do.
But they are all over the place
Well,
here. So
And they don't like the
obviously, if
the
you ever
Neo,
get a chance to fly in
I found,
Galveston,
or
you need to
mini
exercise
drones.
Caution. All right.
moment.
And there are a lot of
This
people
was
walking,
my first
up and
You
down
know,
the
even
sidewalk.
when we were in Florida
In fact, one
at
of
the
cool
South
things
Florida
that
drone
I
meetup,
Mom and
there
her
weren't
son,
that many
they came
birds
up
to
to
deal
me
with like
after I
you would
completed this
ordinarily
recording
see,
and
but
asking
at
me
least from what I
questions
recall.
about
But on
flying
this
drones, and
place,
they
oh
were
my goodness, there
genuinely
were so many
interested in what I
flying
was
around.
doing. So certainly, you know, you want to share the hobby with other people and expand
That's
it.
a great place to fly,
So again,
though.
here are the pink umbrellas.
Yeah, those pink umbrellas belong to the
Again, the goal
hotel
is
that
to
we were
stay
staying
away from
at,
that.
so
Nice.
we
Very
had
nice.
to.
All right,
I
so
had to avoid
I
that.
am attempting to head out to this walkway.
Well, again, guys, if you want
And
to
then
watch more of that
to say,
video,
you
go
know
to
what? Let's
Mike's
just go
channel,
over.
Drone Passport. And Mike, you know, you're going to laugh at this, but the last time I was in Galveston was about 40 years ago. And I brought back a prisoner from Galveston.
Oh no.
But anyway, way
Oh.
before my drone flying, that's for sure.
Oh,
So, and John's trying to remind me to put in the doodle contest before it gets too late. So now will be the time, guys, and you're eligible too, Mike, because you don't know what the number is, to put it in the chat. What the lucky number between 1 and 25 is, and I'll try to keep an eye out, and I'll probably miss it like I always do. But somebody's very close. Somebody's very, very close. Oh, I do see it though. Oh, they went by already though. Now I got to go back. Let's see who got it. I think John Flynn got the first number 7, John. So your name's going in the hat for the monthly giveaway. Congratulations. And a lot of people probably don't know. I picked number 7 because that was Mickey Mantle's number. So anyway, it's going right in the hat, John. So, but anyway, there we go. And the monthly giveaway is more or less about having fun with it.
absolutely.
That's all. But who can't use an Amazon gift card, you know? It's always good to have a $10 Amazon gift card. But anyway, Mike, I got to say thank you for being on the show tonight. You were a great special guest, you know.
Well,
And it was
I appreciate
like I
you
said in
having
the-
me.
You're welcome. And it was, like I said in the beginning, it was my pleasure meeting you at the South Florida Drone Meetup. And I look forward to seeing you again next year. And hopefully I'll get to talk to you more than I did, you know. And that's the
Absolutely.
problem. That's not that it's a problem with Meetup. It's you don't have enough time to talk to everybody. You know, there were so many people that I really wanted to talk to. And, you know, I had a habit, and people started making fun of me because I would take selfies. I would take selfies with a lot of the people. And some people were calling me the selfie king.
Well, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm a little bashful and shy when I'm around people I don't know, and I just kind of zip up. But eventually, I do come around and start talking once I become a little more comfortable. So
Yeah.
next year, I will probably talk everyone's ear off, just like I have tonight on this presentation. So,
Good. Well, thank you again.
well, thank you for having me.
For coming. And if there's anything you want to promote, like your channel, now's the time to do it.
Well, I would say if you could go to my channel, Drone Passport, that would be appreciated. If you could subscribe or give me likes on my videos if they appeal to you. Or if you disagree, please let me know. I'm certainly open to other things or other viewpoints. And also the other thing that I have in the wings is I'm going to launch a second channel. I have the name already picked out. It is a sports related channel.
Okay.
And basically it's going to be me reviewing some of the events that I've either seen in person or seen on television. So
that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, my very first video will be about the very first baseball game I went to. And
really?
I can tell you everything about that first game. And that's the intent of the video, is to share those memories that people may not even realize that happened and in the sports world. So
I still remember the first major league game that I went to see the Yankees, with my dad, that just is, I was only a little guy, 7 years old, but I remember it like it was yesterday. So I'm
Yeah, I
looking
went.
forward to your new channel.
No, thank you. I went to my first game was when I was 9 years old, and I saw the Atlanta Braves play the St. Louis Cardinals. And I can tell you most everything about that game. I can tell you the final score. I can tell you who the winning pitcher was. I can tell you that a certain person who's very famous with the Atlanta Braves hit 2 home runs in that game, which completely changed my sports life forever. And getting a chance to see Hank Aaron in person was great, and having him hit 2 home
I
runs.
always liked him. Always liked Hank Aaron.
And getting to see him hit 2 home runs in one game,
wow,
was amazing. And there were a lot of Hall of Fame people on the field during that game. Joe Torre played third base for the Cardinals. Of course, his major league career kind of middling, but certainly in as a great manager he actually managed the Braves during a resurgence they had in the early 80s. And of course, all of his great championships with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Dusty Baker played on the Braves.
We're getting a preview of your new channel tonight.
Yeah. So there are a lot of luminaries and in fact, the manager of the Braves was Eddie Matthews. So another Hall of Famer.
That's a name from the past. Now I remember that name.
A lot of great people in the history of baseball were engaged and are involved in that game. And as I said, and the winning pitcher was Phil Niekro.
Okay, yeah.
And he's in the Hall of Fame. So again, it's
well. Thanks for the preview. We appreciate it, and thank you for being on the show tonight.
Well, thank you again for having me. I truly appreciate it, and thank you all for
everybody in the chat. Thank you for watching, taking the time out to watch my live stream. I try to get a great special guest, just like I had on tonight, and I want to say thank you to all my viewers. You've been watching a long time now, and I truly appreciate it. But in the meantime, get out there and fly, like Johnny and I say, fly for fun. And if you got the Part 107, make a few bucks with your drone. But most importantly, fly safely. So have a good night, everybody. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Mike and I, if you left any shrimp and lobster, we're going to go enjoy some shrimp and the lobster.
Absolutely.
In the back room.